It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba, and today we are talking the death of Anna Kepner. Y'all, when I tell you this case is so disturbing from start to finish, it blew my mind. And I have to cover it. Anna was just 18 years old. She was due to graduate here coming in May, senior in high school. This is so devastating. Her car, according to authorities and just reports from friends and families, y'all, her car is still parked in the same place at school where she left it. Okay. Anna was murdered. Allegedly, let me just say allegedly, but right now this is being treated as a homicide, and the stepbrother is the prime suspect. Anna was unalived on board a Carnival cruise ship. I want to put a comma there instead of a period or exclamation point. And I think the reason why it's important for me to put a comma here is because I'm an avid cruiser and my cruise line of choice is Carnival. I've enjoyed Carnival thoroughly. I have not had any issues on board Carnival myself, and I plan to continue to utilize Carnival. Cruising is safe. Let's be clear. Cruising is safe, but sometimes you just don't know the people that you travel with. And I have a rule, right? Sometimes I don't drink with certain people if I don't feel safe with them. If I'm not, let me just say this, with men, if I don't know what his behavior could possibly be. Anna went on a family vacation cruise with her father, with her stepmother, with her stepbrother, and her biological brother. Her stepmother and her father had their own cabin. Anna was roommates with two boys, her brother who's 14 and her stepbrother who's 16. And I'm going to go out there because I really have to, I'm going to put my neck out a little bit. I have to be true to the style of commentary that I typically deliver. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it because I'd rather you all be safe than sorry for those of you that are tuned in. Your girls are not safe with these boys these days, including stepbrothers. Initially, when I covered the case, I gave you the conservative version. If you go back and maybe a week ago, I gave you the conservative version and I kept it cute. And then at the end of the video, if you go back and check, I said, now here's what I really know. But okay. And I said, from what I know from an inside source who shared on a social media platform and they took her comments down. Before word got out, I shared that Anna was wrapped up in a sheet or a blanket and stuffed under the bed. That was released from an inside source, that they found her stuffed and wrapped under the bed. And because of the family and friends' social media posts saying, hopefully justice will be served, I gave you all a heads up that this is possibly a homicide, because we don't need justice to be served if it's something accidental and there are no third parties or second parties involved. Got it? Fast forward a week later, chilling details in video surveillance has the video surveillance has not been released to the public, but there is some private media entities that do have a copy of it. Chilling, chilling video surveillance shows her last hours on board the Carnival ship. Also, if you go back and check my video, I told you that she left dinner. She was having dinner with her family and reportedly abruptly left dinner because all of a sudden she didn't feel good. Now, the source that gave the information and her comments were removed, she said somebody slipped something in Anna's drink. I was under the impression that it could have been the staff. I didn't say that, but I did say somebody. If this is true, is there a possibility that the stepbrother slipped something in her drink to later on? I'm pausing. Linda says people are so evil. I want to add to that. I want to pile on to that. Not only people, but children. If we think about the mayhem that happened in Chicago, not only people, but children. And when we cover news, things that are going on in the world, I jokingly say, actually not here, I said on other social media platforms, I jokingly say it, but I mean it. When I say you all are out here giving birth to demons, demonic children, demonic spirits, and it goes unchecked. And when they act out, you say they're just children. No, they're not. They're spawns. They're spawns. Acts of violence is not just childlike. We got to call a thing a thing, even when it's a kid. Period. Chilling new details. Carnival Cruise TV reveals Anna Kepner's last hours before she died inside the cruise cabin she shared with her stepbrother. And I'm going to cite my media source as The Sun. Investigators are still actively examining whether an altercation between Anna and her stepbrother occurred before her death. Now, let's use a little bit of common sense here. We were not in the room, but let's come together and think out loud, okay? Typically, when a woman comes up murdered, unalived, and there was an altercation with a man, what would it be over? What would it be over? And if you use a little bit of common sense, and I have to make when I deduce and I use my common sense and my professional opinion, and then I go back and I lean on my degree in criminal justice and my master's in organizational psychology, I say, wait a minute. Typically, in situations like this, where a woman is targeted and unalived, there may have been the possibility that you tried to take advantage of her. And she shunned your advances. Maybe you even went too far. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. And she woke up. And you thought, oh my God, I can't let her tell this. And a struggle ensued. See, because a male lion doesn't know he's a teen. Let me use an example. In the animal kingdom, when a male lion reaches a particular age, the alpha, the father, kicks him out or he'll kill him. Because you see that teen, he's strong, but he doesn't know he's a teen. All he knows is he's a male, and he'll begin to challenge his father by trying to mate with his mother. So you got to go. He doesn't know it's wrong. He's leaning in on his alpha instincts, his male instincts, which is to procreate and dominate. So you say, this is sick. That's her stepbrother. He's still a man. He's still a male. So if there is an altercation, according to investigators, that did occur in that cabin, there's only one thing I can think of, honey. There's only one thing I can think of. And it doesn't matter that she's older than him by 2 years, he's still a male, which is why I always tell women, what are you doing? Let the men handle the men. Even if you have to get law enforcement involved. Let the men handle the men, because you're not going to win with a man. But I know who can, another man. So even though she's older, she still can't outpower a male that's younger, because men are what? 7 times or higher stronger than women, depending on their build. So even though he's a stringy teenager, she's still a smaller version. She's a girl. She didn't stand a chance. What is it called when your adrenaline kicks in? He knew exactly what he was doing. And the evidence supports that. When you wrap a body up and you stuff it, and the reason, if you understand what these cabins look like, let me pull one up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, he stuffed it. Those rooms are small. They had 2 bunk beds and 1 twin size bed. That's why he had to stuff it. Very small rooms. So it could have been this one. Hold on. If she was Horizon. Let me pull it up so you can get an idea. He had to do a lot of work. This is what we're looking at. Give me 1 second. All right, let me know when you can see my screen. I love to create a visual, because when you have a visual, you can get inside of the mind of the predator and say, whoa, hold on. If you take a look to the far right side of the screen, hold on, I just had it. Did it disappear? This is somebody, I hate to, let's just say visit. I'm gonna bring it up for you. Here we go. This is what it looked like. I'm gonna try to pause the video. You see it? Ignore the cabin number. I just want to give you an idea of the small amount of room that we're working with. Hold on. It's not showing you. It didn't show. Share this tab. Here we go. Can you all see now? All right. This is the space, probably very close to the amount of space. This would be her bed on the right. This would probably be his bed on the bottom, on the left, with the bunk beds. And then this on top would probably be the younger brother, her biological brother, who was 14. And the reason I guess this setting, I don't know for sure, but I do know this was her bed on the right. I know the boys shared, according to police reports. The boys both had the bunk beds. I'm guessing her brother, the 14-year-old, was on the top, because typically as older siblings, we make the youngest one do what? You take the top, I'll take the bottom. And if what I believe to be true, what I'm assuming in my head, you don't just have a sexual assault. Now, let's be very clear. The FBI did not release any information about the altercation. I believe, based on common sense, real world experience, statistics against crimes committed against women and girls, there is a huge probability this was a sexual assault. If that is true, that would imply that her stepbrother may have had an attraction to her prior to the cruise. If we keep that in mind, it would be more likely for the stepbrother to want the bottom bunk so that he can see Anna while sleeping, to be as close as possible. Are you following me? Hence the reason why I say your girls are not safe. Or an attempted assault. Attempted assault. And they're only going to know that if they do swabs or, examine some type of, medical examination. There's new details on the death of Anna Kepner. She was a cheerleader. She had plans on joining the military. She's been wanting to join the military for a number of years. She was scheduled to graduate here in May of 2026. Surveillance footage captured her last moments, her last hours. She was found dead under the bed, stuffed under her bed, aboard the Carnival Horizon cruise ship on November 7th. She was found November 7th on Friday morning, approximately 11:17 a.m. after leaving dinner. She was sharing a cabin with her brother, who's 14, her stepbrother, who's 16, and the two boys, as I mentioned before, shared bunk beds in the cabin, while Anna had her own bed. You see, I put a visual. Why is the visual important? Because when you don't have a place to run, that's a small space for somebody to be up on you. Something happened. And I believe it was violent. She didn't have a lot of space to move, to get away. And if you're not feeling good, you're probably not at full capacity to defend yourself. Or do you follow? There's little to no room. So they're already looking at the brothers. Let's be clear. For those of you that just came in, the brother is a suspect. They already looked at him. That's been established by the FBI. Period. That's been established, okay? The brother is a suspect. I know some people are probably just getting here, but it's important that I bring you up to speed so that your comments are reflective of where we are real time. So, according to investigators, Anna was at dinner with her family, and all of a sudden she says, "I'm not feeling good at all." And she left. The footage that's obtained by the FBI shows Anna, allegedly shows Anna, because I didn't see it myself, but according to major news outlets, as she heads back to her cabin. They tracked her from the dining room to the hallways, the elevators, and it takes sometimes, depending on where you are, that can be a long walk back to your room. When Anna left and returned to her room, they were able to clock exactly when she inserted her key card based on the clicks. Shortly after Anna went back to the room, the boys returned to the cabin. Then there's footage. So Anna goes to the cabin. They got footage of that. Then they got both of the boys going to the cabin. But there is surveillance footage that shows her younger brother leaves the cabin to go snap some photos on the ship. The younger brother comes back to the room, notices that his sister is missing when he returned, but he assumed maybe she's with mom. Maybe she's with my dad and my stepmom. The next morning, when the family goes for breakfast together, she never showed up. Her father became very concerned. He began, "What? You haven't seen your sister since last night? Are you kidding me, boys? Come on, guys." The father jumps up. He begins to scour the cruise ship. He's nervous. He's panicking. He's probably, Lord knows what he's thinking. Probably as a parent, why in the hell did you not say something? Especially with the documentary of Amy Bradley is missing. The father panics. He's searching the ship. He's searching the ship for his daughter. He decides, let me go check the room. He couldn't find his daughter anywhere. When he arrives to the room, surveillance sees him that he found. He arrives to the room. Ooh, and he finds the cleaning crew, that the cabin cleaning crew had just discovered her dead body stuffed under the bed. The cleaning crew was freaked out. They're cleaning, they're doing their job. For those of you that say they don't clean, right? They're folding and da 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 da. They go to clean under the bed and they find a dead body. They immediately alert the captain. They immediately alert the cruise director, who jumps on the loudspeaker and calls for medical attention ASAP. Okay. There's an all call that goes out, and that's probably why you see some of the social media comments from some of the passengers that were on board who's saying, I was aboard that ship. I remember that morning. It was a medical call. So what was happening that morning? That was a sea day for those of you that are familiar with cruises. They were headed back to land. That was the final sea day. That means we're not going to pull into a port or a dock. We're just going to be at sea all day. Legal documents revealed that the FBI investigators are now looking at Anna's 16-year-old brother in connection with her mysterious death. Now, I do believe there's more to the story, and they are holding on to it because they tracked a younger brother. They have established a time of death. I am of the belief that I wonder, let me just say, I wonder. I can't help but to wonder, based on the surveillance videos seen by the FBI, I wonder if they know it was the stepbrother. Is it because he never left the cabin again after he unalived allegedly Anna? So they're able to say, no, you were in there the entire time. You never came out. We know for a fact you were in that room during her time of death. We have you coming back to the room shortly, following Anna after she didn't feel well. The younger brother left out to go have a little bit of fun. He wanted to take pictures. You never came out the room. You only came out to go to breakfast, and her body never came out, only for the housekeepers to discover her wrapped up, dead, stuffed under the bed, stuffed. You stuff turkeys. You stuff drawers. You don't stuff a human body under a bed. That tells you the mind of this boy. Keep in mind, there's a stepbrother and there's a biological brother. The FBI does not believe the stepbrother. There is no reports that the stepbrother has harmed. That the biological brother has harmed his sister. Let's be very clear. The biological 14-year-old brother is not a suspect. The 16-year-old stepbrother is a suspect. Miss Price 60 said, thank God they did their jobs and clean like they are supposed to. Can you imagine them finishing and cleaning and didn't vacuum under the bed? They would have found her no matter what, because when you disembark and you come, and that day when her family, when it's time to get off that ship, her dad would have been stir crazy. They would have searched that ship up and down. They would have still found her. You get what I'm saying? But let's continue. That's why I say your daughters are not saved. This was her stepbrother, a family that her father married into. Listen, her body was discovered wrapped in a blanket, stuffed under her bed, and covered by life vests after her frantic family had spent the morning trying. So he put her under her bed so he can have a peaceful night of sleep. The medical examiners, the Miami-Dade medical examiner's office determined that Anna's time of death was 11:17 a.m. The time her body was discovered on November 7th, but have not revealed a cause and or a manner of death. Not yet, they haven't. The FBI has now advised Anna's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, that one of your children, because she has more than one of your children may face criminal charges in relation to Anna's death. Documents have been submitted to the court by Chantel as a part of a request to delay a custody hearing revealed the surprising, hold on, documents submitted to court. What she said is any testimony the respondent may give, either written or oral, could be prejudicial to her or her adolescent child in this pending criminal investigation. So she sounds like she's in a custody battle and she's fighting. It's a lot. In a second court filing, Anna's stepbrother was identified by the initials TH and was said to be currently living with a relative to protect the safety of his biological and step siblings. TH's father, Thomas Hudson, accused his ex-wife Chantel of putting his son's future in jeopardy. So this was in the custody hearing. She's already going in a custody hearing. So the dad, see, a lot of you swear that these kids are better off with the moms. Not necessarily. Some of these mothers ain't ish. And the dad said, listen, I need custody of my kids. She's putting his future in jeopardy. Unfortunately, I think the dad may have been right, depending on the types of behaviors that mother may have exposed that boy to. The respondent took the remaining minor children on a cruise with the stepchild of her paramour. The filing states, ooh, a paramour. The 16-year-old child is now a suspect in the death of the stepchild during the cruise. Just a little bit about Anna. Anna attended Temple Christian School as a part of the graduating class of 2026. She has 2 biological siblings, a brother that's 14 and a sister who's 9. Her father, who is Christopher, married her stepmother. Y'all, they've only been married a year and a half. A year and a half. A year and a half. You hear me? Bringing these folks around your kids so fast because you, as an adult, have found love. You, as an adult, need to fill the void in your heart. You, as an adult, I'm grown. I can do what I want to do to get your kids abused, unalive, because you, God forbid, don't have a warm body at night. I'm ready to risk it all to have a man or a woman. It ain't even been 2 years, and her son may have killed your daughter. It ain't even been 2 years, and you married a woman who's in a very, very bad custody battle, who's accused of some very bad things by her ex-husband, citing she's putting his future on the line in jeopardy. But we see what we want to see. We hear what we want to hear. The heart wants what it wants, even at the risk of some of your own children. We see it every day in the news where we invite these people into our homes. Adult, I'm grown. What, I got to wait till I'm divorced? You see them all the time. Single versus divorce versus separated. You hear me talk about it all the time, but you're married. But you have children. How do you put yourself above your children? How do you put yourself above the safety of your children? How do you think it's okay for a teen girl to be in a room with 2 teen raging males, hormones all over the place? Why would this ever be okay? How come she didn't have her own room? Or how come the stepmom and the stepdaughter didn't have their room? And dad, you just gonna have to chalk it up and sleep with the boys. And if you want a little something, you know where to meet your wife. On the 10th floor, all the way to the back of the ship at 2 a.m. in the morning. I'd rather you do that than put her in harm's way, man. But we're going to get to that. Some of you are so selfish. All you think about are yourselves, and you put your children in harm's way. You expose them to your ill behaviors, and you wonder why they come up and they're doing drugs. And I was a good mom. And how do you know that? Have you ever said, I was a good father? How do you know that? You cannot rate yourself as a parent. The only person that has the privilege to rate you are your children. And half the time, some of you are so emotionally crippled, you couldn't handle the truth if it were right in front of you. So your kids pretend that you're the best gift to God's earth because you are weak and you're not strong enough to handle the truth for them to really sit you down and say, you were awful. You were horrible. There were days I cried in my room and you didn't see me. You had no idea. And you thought because you came home and you bought me clothes, or you took me on a cruise, or you put shoes on my feet, I had the latest gadget, that you were an awesome parent. You weren't. And in the words of Tony Braxton, if you were not my family, I would not deal with you at all. But some of y'all are not ready for that type of conversation because you're weak emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. When you don't do your due diligence of checking out a background of somebody and holding your freaking horses before you say I do, and moving a damn demon in your house to harm your daughter or harm your son because you need love and you want sex. I can't wait. And as a result, not even 2 years later, this demonic spirit by way of a boy may have harmed it. We know he did something because she was wrapped up in a blanket and stuffed under her bed. So that's demonic in and of itself, because if it were a medical emergency, you've been on cruises and so have I. You use the phone and you make a call so that somebody can come in that damn room and help. There is a strong probability that this boy did something very vile, very disrespectful, and tried to clean it up. And when he realized he went too far, he was like, fuck it, I'll cross the line. I'm going to hide her body. See, kids don't just do that. There had to be thoughts that leads up to the sin. See, we have bad thoughts. Nobody's, some of you, I was so mad at that lady, I could have slapped the crap out of her, right? We'll laugh and talk crap in our house. But the difference between you and I versus them, they carry it out. And that's when you start to get into the mind of a psychopath and the mind of a sociopath. They're going to carry it out. You're going to say, that's not right. But boy, she sure made me mad. Or boy, he sure feel, oh, you better get out of here before I lose it. And then you go on to have a better day. And then you avoid people that make you feel that way. But them, they're going to carry it out. They're just trying to figure out, how can you remember the series, How to Get Away with Murder? How can I get away with, my stepsister's beautiful. You're not feeling good? Let me go to this room. The moment you went to that room and you didn't come out with her brother to go take pictures, you had already made up your mind. Not necessarily to unalive her, but to the thing that led to him unaliving her, allegedly. You had already made up your mind. And obviously your father knew you as a demon because he tried to get you away from your mama. Can we talk? Can we talk? Some of you see things in your kids right now that's not right. But instead of getting them the help that they need, your ego is fragile. You can't take it because that's going to make me look like a bad parent. So I'm just going to dress it up, put lipstick on the pig, fuss and fight like they do in Chicago. She just a kid. She got more than regular kids. She's still a demon. A demon with a nice purse. A demon with boho braids. A demon with dunks, Nike dunks. A demon with a nice purse. She's still a demon. She threw the first lick, ma'am. She incited the violence. It's in her, period. And once she got a taste of it and she sees there's no repercussions, your daughter will grow up to continue to hurt other girls. Now, then you go back to the question. I'm like Capital One. What's in your damn wallet? And by wallet, I mean, what the hell is going on in your household where your kids come out to be violent and feel like they can sexually assault, beat, rob, kill, steal? What they see in your house? Hmm? We're going to get into it. Because let me tell you about the sexual demons that are floating around in Anna Kepper's family. Oh, we just getting started. I'm just warming up. That's right, Catalina. You put a lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. But instead of getting these kids help at the first sign of, hey, why did you grab that dog by his ears and over, you've been now. I've corrected you over and over. Obviously, there's something there. You know what? Let me work with a therapist. Let me work with the father. Let me something. But I'm not gonna. Oh, that's just children. No, it's not, ma'am. Children don't kill. Demons do. But let's continue. That's so sad. She just met this boy not even 2 years ago, and he took her life, allegedly. The blended family relocated to Titusville. Anna was a high school senior and a cheerleader who loved kids, dolphins, butterflies, arts, and crafts. She loved doing puzzles with her Mima, meaning her grandmother. She earned her boater's license. She was a water girl. She loved being on the water. She was able to drive a boat and navigate a boat before she knew how to drive. She was PADI certified to dive alongside her family. This girl was up and coming. She was solid. She loved all kinds of music except heavy metal, according to her family. And she had a soft spot for Shawn Mendes. She planned to join the U.S. Navy after graduation, and she wanted to become a canine police officer. So not only did she love kids, but she loved animals. She loved canines. She wanted to work with them. She's a Georgia Bulldog. She was a Georgia Bulldogs fan through and through, just like her family. And she dreamed one day of becoming a cheerleader for the Bulldogs. Her future was bright. According to the stepmother, the family will not comment further on her stepdaughter's death. Oh, okay. She shared a heartbreaking link to a poignant obituary ahead of a ceremony celebrating. So today, they're going to have a ceremony celebrating Anna. You know what? It's funny. I was supposed to do this commentary yesterday and I pushed it back to today. Alignment. Rest in peace, Anna. I don't know you, but I am sorry. We are sorry that this has happened to you. And the stepmom said, this is something I never imagined I'd have to post. She posted on Facebook. I would be like, don't you ever mention my daughter. Christopher said the family was confused about the cause of Anna's death. Sir, she's dead. That's your daughter. I wouldn't give a damn. I don't listen. Listen. What you mean we're confused about the cause? Does the cause really matter when you understand and know that your stepson wrapped her up in a blanket and stuffed her under her bed and did not seek medical attention and laid his ass in that room and had the nerve to get up and go eat breakfast? And then the father says, the FBI hasn't shared anything with me. You have the demon in front of you. Be a man. Chin check him. What the hell did you do to my daughter? And I'm not waiting on the FBI. But I'll tell you why you're a coward, Christopher. I'm going to get to you in just a second. The father goes on to say, I would imagine they're going to be in contact with me about it, but I know as little as everybody else. Her father also said that everybody who came off that ship had been questioned. I don't know who they are going to look at or what their investigation is, Christopher added. Carnival Cruise Line said in a statement after Anna's death that their focus is on supporting the family of Anna and cooperating with the FBI. I feel bad for Carnival because they got a bad rap. when she was unalive, possibly by her own family. That's it. Now, I want to damn, that lady had a lot of kids. She had one, two, I think she had three. Her boys. Okay, let me show you a photo. Let me see if I can. I may have. So let me show you the family photo. Give me 1 second. If you don't mind me pulling it up. This is the family photo right here. That's Chantel. That's her ex-husband with their 3 kids. This is before she married Anna's father. You see it? This is her and those 2 little boys. Now they're big boys. Now we're going to look at, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think, let's look at this stepbrother. Let me know if you can see it. This is the stepbrother. You see him? As you can see, he towers over her. Towers over her. She's supporting him, just met him. And I'm sure her dad said, let's go support your stepbrother. I don't believe in forcing kids to do too much they don't want to do when it comes to physical contact, hugging, kissing, sharing. I don't believe in that. Go hug me, mom. No. Oh, you be nice, because now you're teaching them that their boundaries and they don't have authority and dominion over their bodies and their affection. And then you're shocked when a predator comes and takes advantage of them. You were the first one to rob them of their rights when you forced them to hug and kiss Mima and their uncle. Their no should be their no. Okay. Well, not today. All right. Thank you, mama. She don't feel like kissing or hugging. Well, you make her, because back in my, no, ma'am. Back in my day, kids could not know. It's about her personal space. I won't always be around to protect her. And I want him or her to know that your no is your no. Period. So stop taking your children's right away, because what you do, you're the first influence of toxic dominance when you don't give them a right to choose. You never looked at it like that, right? But that's what my page is about. I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits. I didn't realize I was doing that. Yeah, every time you force them to do something, even if you think it's innocent and tender, it's not for you to decide. That's for them. And if they don't want to give a hug or a kiss or shake hands, they're not bad. Don't let somebody offend you into making your child, oh, that's kind of disrespectful. Why? Because you wanted a hug and they didn't. What happens when I'm not there and somebody else wants a hug, or somebody else wants to play a game, or somebody else follows her from dinner to the cabin and decides a little kiss or a little touch won't hurt? Well, mom, dad, you never taught them no. Okay? So this is him, towers over her. This is Anna. This is the blended family. You see him? He's strong. This is her brother. That's 14. I believe this is her sister. That's 9. And this is the other lady's child. This is Chantel's other little daughter that Anna's dad, Christopher, is holding. This is the cruise ship. Got it? Now we're about to get into the thick of it, because people are not playing. People are very concerned about how the family is treating Anna's death. And according to, right here, oh, I don't want to do that one yet. Let's do this one. According to Anna's uncle, he's had enough. And he said, listen, he posted, his name is Martin Donahue. He's had enough of the father's antics, Christopher. He posted on Facebook, I need everybody's help on this. If you haven't heard this story, then you have been living under a rock. This is my niece, Anna Kepner. She was 18 and was on a cruise with her dad, her stepmom, and other family members. I cannot stay silent about this matter any longer. The stepmom's son killed her. This is a family member that did not say allegedly. He killed her and stuffed her naked, beaten body in a sheet. Y'all, hold on. Hold on. He killed my niece and stuffed her naked, beaten body in a sheet. Did I not tell you your kids are not safe with outsiders unless you've sat back and dated them and watched them and observed their kids, and don't bring them in your house to observe? That's the wrong kind of lesson. We don't want to learn tough lessons. Go ahead and date. But don't be in a hurry for your kids to be meeting their kids until you get a good feel for them. Because I got to make sure mine's safe, baby. I know how you wholly feel sanctified and you love the Lord and all that. That's good. But I got to protect mine. And I don't need your kids over here spending the night for me to find out if they're good or bad. Once I get a sense, then we'll do play dates outside your home and outside mine. Listen to what the uncle said, because I really need this to land. Did I not tell you kids don't just wake up and do something? What did the uncle say? He killed her and stuffed her naked, beaten body. That means there was bruises, contusions, hemorrhaging. He beat her. She was naked. How did her clothes come off? Anna was sharing a room with two boys. They were on the last day of the cruise. Anna probably did not sleep naked in that bed for 5 days with them boys in that room. Come on. We can assume she had PJs. She would go in the bathroom, do her shower, put on her clothes. Who took her clothes off? He did. The nice stepson. My kids get along, but the whole time you don't know that your stepson is calculating how to hurt your daughter. And he got his moment when she said, I don't feel good. I can't fight if I'm weak. I can't fight if I'm attacked when I'm asleep. He got his moment. He couldn't control himself. He didn't want to go out the room. What goes on in the mind of a 16-year-old boy that feels like I can sexually assault, possibly, my stepsister, and I'm going to get off this ship and she'll never say anything? If I had to guess, I'm going to say he meant to harm her and then unalive her. I don't know why. The only thing I can come up with, he's a sociopath or already a psychopath. From day one, he set eyes on her. He probably decided, I like her sexually. And sir, you gave him access to your daughter. You didn't even get your daughter a separate room. And you a man. You are a man. You didn't even get your daughter a separate room. And you wonder why men have come on when asked the question, the man or the bear? Even men say the bear. Hopefully the bear, because I know a man wants something from her. I know how men are. And what they're saying is not all men, but they're saying men have strong sexual desires. And remember what I said earlier, the difference between sociopaths and psychopaths versus everyday people? You can thwart bad thoughts. They act them out. They carry them out. That's why men are saying, wait, if my daughter were alone in the woods, who would I want to find her? Some of them have even gone as far as say, can I pick the man? Nope. Oh, the bear. If I can't pick the man, and depending on his sexual desire, give her the bear. Hopefully the bear will see her as a cub. Hopefully the bear won't find her. But the man, no. Men won't even trust men alone with their daughters. They rather a bear. Because they understand the dangers that a man could pose to a woman, that an unhealthy man who has uncontrollable sexual desires could pose to a woman and or a child or a girl. Now, didn't I say earlier when we were talking, I said, wait a minute, if we can use common sense here, see, you don't need the FBI to tell you what happened if you understand how things work. Did I not say there's only one thing that I can think of that would cause a struggle in that room for a body to be stuffed under the bed? Let's start with what could he have possibly wanted from Anna? And I left it blank. There you have it. The uncle is so enraged that he went against the FBI wishes to not release anything to the public. He's sick to his stomach. And he says, I cannot stay silent about this matter any longer. The stepmom, her son, he killed my niece. He didn't say allegedly. He said he killed her. He stuffed her naked, beaten body in a sheet and stuffed her under a bed and covered her with life jackets. And then he slept on that bed like nothing happened. And then he told, wait a minute. Hold on. And then he told his mom when no one could, oh, y'all, I be damned. According to the uncle, when nobody could find Anna, the stepmom knew what happened because her son told her what he did to Anna on the ship. And that low life woman did not tell the FBI. She watched her stepdaughter being rolled out in a body bag, and she gathered her freaking luggage and went home as if nothing ever happened to protect her child, even though the other child is dead. And this is who we allow into our homes. If it comes between your child and mine, I will protect mine even when mine has broken the law. She knew what her son did. And she was quiet. And she said, go get your stuff. Get your stuff. Get your suitcase right now. The FBI is on board. Don't you say a word. We're going to clear customs. That's it. That's all. I'm going to call your aunt. I'm going to call your uncles. And you're going to go somewhere else. But don't you open your mouth. You don't know anything. Do you understand me? Whew. Let's continue. I just want y'all to feel how important it is to vet people out before dating them. If the father would have waited just a little bit longer, he may have gotten a good feel for that boy. If he would have waited just a little bit longer. That boy told his mom what he did when nobody could find Anna on the ship. So yes, they knew who did it, according to the uncle, and it sickens me that the father remained silent about it. He got off the ship too. Please pass this on till maybe it gets to someone that can do something about it. Sir, I am not someone. Can everybody share this commentary over and over and over and over and over and over again? If nothing is done, it will all come out on the 20th. At least that's what the stepmom has said after treating family. After treating family, if they talk before that, they will be banned from the remembrance of life for Anna. It sounds like Anna's mom is not in a picture. and the stepmom gets to make final decisions on her burial, and the stepfather is allowing it. So according to the stepmom, if any of you run your mouth before the 20th and speak about what happened on that cruise ship concerning my son, you will not be allowed to attend the remembrance of life for honor. Although I know my son beat her to a pulp, stripped her naked, allegedly, wrapped her up and stuffed her under a bed, but you shall not repeat any of this, or I will deny you the opportunity to say your final goodbye. Please pass this on, he says, so my family can get closure and the people who did this and lied installed to tell the rest of us what happened when it did. Now you all just, now he said, now you just look all guilty of a cover up. They do, sir. Go with your first mind. Now that's a real man. He's letting his balls hang lower than her dad. Her dad should have that energy. Hey, no bitch in hell should be that important that you would allow her son to do what he did to your daughter. Sir, who are you? I know who you are. Let's get into it. I know who you are. You are a pedo, according to court documents. You, according to court documents, Christopher, right here, Christopher, you're ashamed. According to Duchess of Mean from Twitter, thank you to my research team, the situation worsens. Anna Kepner's father, Christopher, had an affair with their 15-year-old babysitter. Ma'am, let me school you though. If you're going to do commentary, a man sleeping with a child is not an affair. Please use the right words. I can't stand when these women see girls as women when men violate them. So we're gonna have to call a thing a thing. And if you're not comfortable calling a thing, you probably shouldn't report on. There's no such thing as a grown man having an affair with a 15-year-old, okay? This occurred before Chantel in 2008. He married Chantel in 2008, y'all. Notably, no, I'm sorry. She wrote this wrong. This incident of him as a pedo with the minor happened in 2008. Notably, he was charged with sexual violence. Ma'am, please update this. This is not an affair based on the charge. It's no surprise that he is not effectively advocating for his deceased daughter. Now, let me run down the charges for you. And according to the court document, y'all, there were 2 petitioners. They had to seal their names, their addresses, and their information, okay? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick so I can read it. Hold on. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I want to make sure I can read the report. You can see it. I have it here, but it's blurry for me. I just need a clean version of it. Give me 1 second. Sometimes that happens. Let me go back. Thank you all for your patience. Yeah. But the police report, you all, I saw it. It doesn't say, oh, here we go. Let's see if I can. That ain't the one. It was sexual violence of a 15-year-old. The dad is a pedophile. He is. And he thinks if he just turned, because he doesn't want anybody to know who he is and what he's done. See, you are what you attract. You are what you attract. You attracted another predator because you are one. You attracted another younger version of yourself in your home, which leads me to believe you may not have gotten the rehabilitation that you need, or you have the money to get yourself off the hook. But wherever you are, wherever you go, there you are. Have you heard that saying? Wherever you go, there you are. Sir, you tried to move on from that and attracted another predator into your home because of what's probably inside of your heart as a man. The man or the bear. You are the man. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this thing up because I really want to be able to read it. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Maybe this is it. Sorry. Well, anywho, it's on the screen. It's on the screen. I can't make it bigger. I was ready to read it off to you, but it's too small. So that's okay. But it's here. Okay. The dad. And it didn't say actual assault against the father. It said violence. Violence. He wasn't charged with sexual assault. The father was charged with sexual violence of a 15-year-old. Does that sound similar to what may have happened to Anna? Violent? Does that sound violent? The way her uncle described her body, beaten, naked, wrapped up in a blanket? That sounds pretty violent to me. Anna didn't give consent, just like that 15-year-old, her daddy attacked, didn't give consent. Now we're getting into principalities. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You are what you attract. And although you married a woman, you like little girls. I hope I'm doing this justice for you, Anna, and Anna's family. I hope I'm doing this justice. Since her father is covering up what happened to his poor daughter. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Let's see if I think I may have another copy. Let's see. And then we'll be out of here. Oh, I got it. Here we go. Thank you. All right. Let me send it real quick so we can look at it. Thank you, Somali Queen, for sending me that document, along with the other documents that you've sent me. We appreciate you, Somali Queen. Make sure you give Somali Queen some love in the chat for her very thorough research on this matter. So, according to oh my God. Hold on. Was this a family member? Let me look at something. There's two petitioners. C. Donahue, Obo versus Christopher Kepner. Wait a minute. Somali, you sent the wrong one. This is the child support hearing. But the one I put on the screen, you all, is the one I put on the screen is the criminal one. All right. So you saw, you could screenshot it. Feel free to screenshot it. It's just not big enough for me to share with all of you, but we do have it. We did put it up there. It's just so small. I'm sorry. And I just don't want to waste any more time trying to read it out loud. But if you peruse the internet, I'm sure you can find it. Now, Tabitha Kepner. This is important. I'm going to pull it up on the screen right here. Share this tab. Let me know if you can see this. This is good. Oh my God, this is good, Somali Queen. Watch this. Let's take this off. We got some new information in. Take this down. Can y'all see this? All right, here we go. Tabitha Kepner is the biological mother of Anna Kepner, who was found. What? Okay, Tabitha Kepner is Anna's biological mother. She divorced Christopher in 2023 and he turned around and married in 2024. Are we not dealing with two kinds of crazy? Did not tell you he did not wait. Did not tell you he did not vet that boy out. Did not tell you he moved very quickly to probably fulfill his own desires. Did not tell you he placed Anna in harm's way. Chantel Hudson is the ex-wife of Thomas Hudson. Thomas Hudson is the father of Timothy Hudson. Timothy Hudson is the prime suspect. That's the stepbrother. Got it? Timothy Hudson is the prime suspect. Chantel, Anna's father divorced her mother in 2023 and immediately married another woman in 2024. Are y'all with me? Okay, let me look at this. Hold on. She's sending me another one. And I'm going to see if we have any questions. Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? Let me go. I have a meeting. Let me go. That's all I have. That's it. That's all. All right. Let me go. I was so enthralled in this. I have a meeting. Please play it back. That's all I have today. I want to stop now. But I wanted to do that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm just going to let you all talk. Well, I can't let you talk in the comments because I got to go. But I hope you enjoyed it. I will be following up when they establish the cause of death. Okay? All right.